KFK, what do you think, or what do you do with the hedron you get from hex staking? Just hold it. I mean, when the bull run comes, you're gonna regret selling anything at these prices, is my opinion. So like, unless you need the money or you think it's better off in something else and you're gonna hold that other thing longer term, then maybe do that. I don't try to tell people like short term, like, oh, gotta do this strategy and then switch over to this when this multiplies. Like, the thing is, like, even if all that stuff I said was true, most people will miss time or not see the videos in time or miss the information, and then they miss the trade, and then they're upset because they didn't get all the information instantly, like whenever it was said, and it was a good time. So we're seeing this somewhat in the Hex community now, where like people will talk about a coin and how, oh, this thing, it could do this, and then they tell all their community, like their whole squad or whatever, and then the price goes up and they're like, what, look, I told you, or something. It's like, dude, you know what pumping and dumping is, right? It's where a bunch of people get told that something's going to pump, so they all go and jump in on it while the main guy's already bought his bag. Then when the price goes up, he usually sells some, and then more people sell, more people sell, more people sell, and it's just a short little, pump and dump. And I don't want to get people excited about something short term like this. You have to be ready for this as like a long-term holding strategy thing. So I think that sets people's expectations up. Like, hey, if you're in for multiple years, don't worry about this down year. I try to just stick with the stuff I think is going to be a long-term play, and then I get long-term minded viewers who are all down with
Nice.
it. And so I think that's just a better way to do it than, oh, let me tell you exactly every week what to do. And I don't think that's good for your audience long term. If you migrate your MetaMask into a Trezor, you could somewhat protect your SAC. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, I did explain that a little bit in my how to never get hacked security video, which has been edited and made a little bit easier to follow for people. If they want to check that out on the channel, it tells you how to never get hacked in crypto. But yeah, if you do have, like, say you sacrificed on a hot wallet, which means you just had a MetaMask wallet with money in it and you didn't have a hardware wallet, and then say you sacrificed, and then you're like, oh crap, I never used a hardware wallet. Well, can I move that seed phrase into my hardware wallet? Is that super safe? And it's like, well, now in the future, it's protected. All the time in the past, if your seed was already leaked, it's already leaked. They have full access, even though you have your seed words now in the cold wallet. If a hacker already had your seed words, then they have the same access you do. So you do stop the bleeding, is what we call it. If you want to learn about that, watch that video. All right, watch Magic Carpet Ride, Papa B. They explain migration wallets. Yeah, I mean, I did watch that video as well, but it's like the audio is so garbage in that video. Like there's like background sound and they take forever to explain it. So I try to, like, if I see there's improvement anywhere, pretty much, like people could take my video ideas and stuff and probably condense them down even more. Having good audio, having good presentation, good pacing, and ways of explaining things, there's like super valuable analogy and stuff like that, because I want it to be digestible for almost everyone. Whenever I make content, I don't want it to be like, oh, I only talked with jargon for an hour and nobody understands it unless they're already in crypto. Like, I want to get everyone into crypto is the goal. Do you think the price of pHEX will outperform the price of pHEX? I did talk about that already. A long term, it says, oh, like, I don't know. There's like things on both sides. People got it for free, so they're not going to value it as much in my mind. But then on the other side, there's more price appreciation potential because it's the same code and people won't value it as much because they got it for free, so they'll sell it. So it's like, it just matters when you buy it and when you sell it. I don't know. Long term, it's hard to say. 3 to 4% price swing and parity between px and ex. Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, dude, imagine getting an actual doubling. I mean, we are getting a doubling of coins, and then the USD price will sort itself out. I think, yeah, I mean, I'd have to get like an idea for what everyone else thinks, and then you can kind of be like, oh, well, if everyone thinks that, then maybe this other thing will happen. But I haven't really polled the community yet. I'm waiting for V3 for like some big update videos and stuff like that, like V3 testnet. Some says that 5,000 hex is not worth it for 555 because gas is copy on pulsechain again less. What do you think? 5,000 hex is not worth it for how much is 5,000 hex worth? It's like $150. Yeah, I mean, if it's such a small amount and it's gonna eat into your like gas costs or whatever, like the gas costs eat into it too much, probably just keep it liquid. I know maybe some people will disagree with that, but like if you only have $150 in hex, you can't really be spending gas costs. Like that feels like you should just be working to get more. I mean, I don't want to tell people like financial advice, but like you should have more before you start staking, or I would recommend more. Yeah, I mean, people do talk about how like, oh, those long end stakes are going to cost so much or something like that, but we have all this time up until that point that gas fees could be fixed. Like, there's all this other stuff that like it could be cheaper by then because of some new technology upgrade or something like that. So like, I don't think it's yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. The nice thing about like staking out long term is that it kind of sets your focus to the future because you know you have money coming out in the future, and so you want to be around for that, and you kind of start planning for your future better, which kind of just leads to better decision making in general, because usually the thing that pays off in the long term but sucks now is the overall better thing, health wise and decision wise. So like it's good for your mindset. In my mind, at least that's how it worked for me. Like, it's kind of hard to set a big stake out for a long time, but after we've seen all this stuff being built on top of Hex and stuff being airdropped to Hexicans for, like, say you have a 5555 stake. Some people got like a lot more free airdrop stuff because of that. And if they hadn't, they wouldn't have gotten this extra free stuff. You can get thousands and thousands of dollars of airdrop stuff, even though technically all your Hex is locked or whatever for a long time. You're getting Hedron you can mint every day, some with multiplier bonuses if you were early to that, and also just other airdrop stuff that if you did it longer term, you kind of had more T shares. You actually got more value from the airdrop because it was based on, T shares. And so there are these other things that can give you liquidity now, even though you're giving up liquidity now. It's pretty cool. Like, and that's just because the community is so good. We got like all these developers just making Hex better for everyone. And I think that's pretty cool. Just be careful, like not going down the rabbit hole of like, oh, that means everything people create that's Hex related is good. No, there's lots of stuff that's been bad, and people lose everything. You have to be very careful and curate whose messages you're hearing, and track record is important. Which exchange is trustful enough to use? I would say, either Bitstamp, Kraken. I know Gemini had that earn thing, but just don't use that. That thing uses leverage or whatever. Hopefully they don't go insolvent. But the thing is, like with these exchanges, is like Coinbase is, okay or whatever. You got to use these things, like I said in the earlier. Use them like a bathroom. You go in, you get your stuff, you move it off of the exchange. And if you have a lot to move in, do little bits at a time so they can only screw you for the last send. Not, boom, I put all my money there and I'm ready to trade it and I'm going to move my money off. And they go, oh, we're going to have to flag your account. You're not allowed to withdraw until X whatever reason. And if they do that, you have no recourse. So that's why you want to avoid that risk by splitting up your risk over several different sends at a time. Most people will not take that advice, and then when they lose all their money, they'll be like, man, I wish I only did a little bit at a time and I didn't spend any time in that exchange more than I had to. People who take that advice, they will be spared.